Before I begin, let me just give you guys some disclaimers. I've seen a majority of this film, but I haven't seen 100% of it. I've seen 82% of it, more or less. And the reason for that is very simple. I just can't get through this shit. It's physically impossible for me to sit in front of a screen and watch this movie from beginning to end. It actually made me appreciate anime a lot more because even the shittiest of the shittiest anime doesn't even come close to this. I'm pretty sure there's some of you who just haven't seen this movie, and some of you may probably be curious about it. I think that's pretty normal considering the amount of fucking attention this thing got. But if I could offer you a word of advice, if you're still curious, if you're still one of those people, don't watch it. Because I think part of the appeal of this movie is that you watch it and you're like, oh, this is so taboo. I feel so naughty watching this. No, bro. Honestly, I felt it wasn't about, oh, I feel naughty watching this. I wasn't aroused. I wasn't entertained. It was just this. I literally felt like I was becoming a shittier person watching this. It just made me so angry. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 25%, which to me, that's being generous. I think this fucking movie should be in the negative numbers. You know what the only good thing about this movie is? Because it's gotten so many negative reviews, is that finally, it doesn't even matter if you're liberal or conservative. Finally, something has come out of Hollywood's asshole that is so shit that a majority of people can agree, yeah, that's fucking shit. Even the actors don't even know how to go about talking about this. Dakota Johnson, she hosted SNL, Saturday Night Live, and she was just there basically to make fun of it. Even before this movie came out, there were a bunch of people saying, oh, this movie is basically going to be porn on film. No. Because I have a friend, and she saw the movie, and she told me, well, personally, I think calling this movie porn is an insult to porn. And my friend, she told me, she said, even porn has a better story than this. Let me just tell you how these two idiots end up meeting each other. The girl, Anastasia, she has a roommate, and she was supposed to interview Gray for an article that she was writing or something. The roommate gets sick, and then Anastasia's like, oh, I guess I can go and interview him. Yeah, because we all have time to be doing other people's work. What the You know what one of her questions is? On the interview, because she has them written down, because, that wasn't her work. One of the questions is, are you gay? You would think that I'd be joking about this and making this shit up. I'm not. And then also she's like, oh, I didn't bring a pencil with me. So stupid Gray gives him a pencil. And the pencil here says Gray. There's just so many close-ups of her mouth throughout this entire stupid thing. So naturally she grabs the pencil and is all like... There's a bunch of issues here, so please stay with me. Now, the first main issue here is that the way that I see the story unfold, and I don't know if that's the same way in the books, but in the movie makes you think that the only person who's fucked up and sick in this is the guy. And he is. He's sick, he's fucked up. He even says it himself by the end of the movie. The problem is that I think the girl is equally as sick. Because if she wasn't interested in him, and if she wasn't interested in what he does, then there's no plot. Now, I wouldn't even call that shit a plot. It's just, there's no issue. And you want to know why she's interested in him? 3 things. He's rich, he's good looking, and he stalks the shit out of her. But mostly it's because he's rich. Because being rich allows him to stalk her the way that he does. There's this one scene where he goes to her workplace, and I'm not talking about, oh, he just walked through the front door to see what was up. No. You know that section of every store that says employees only? That's kind of in the back part of the store? This motherfucker shows up there. It's she walks in there and she's like, oh my gosh, that is some creepy stuff. But because of the things I just mentioned, oh, it's okay. It's not that bad. In fact, it's actually perceived as being a little bit romantic. They weren't even dating when that happened. Oh, but if the guy looked a little bit different, oh. then it's time to call the cops. She actually tells him, I'm a virgin. I've never, and she actually says, like, I just never found the right guy. When he finds out, he says, oh, well, let me rectify the situation. As if saying that waiting to have intercourse is some type of a flaw. Which, it's not. It's a choice. Like, the only reason you would view this as a flaw is under this materialistic context. And let me tell you something. A lot of the issues of our society, like present day, are sex-based. And the reason they're sex-based is because there's so much focus on it that people just don't know what the fuck to do with themselves. So let me tell you something that I wish somebody had told me while I was growing up, okay? The only problem of being a virgin is if you think there is a problem with being a virgin. That's it. If you think it's a problem, then it's gonna be a problem, okay? It's gonna be a problem for you and your future partner. But if you don't let that shit bother you, then it won't be a problem for you or your future partner. And the people that make fun of other people that are sexually inexperienced, you just trust me on this, are people that they themselves are not fulfilled or are not happy with their own sexual experiences. Case in point, Gray is messed up. I think he was like, he was used in a very sexual way at a very young age. So he was traumatized, okay? And another thing that's just like completely fucking stupid. There is a contract that he has, a legal contract about what, if she signs the contract, it just says like what he can do to her, what she can do, what they can't do, the restrictions, all a bunch of like just logistical stuff. But the thing is, she never signs the contract and she gets her ass beat anyway. So that contract is completely fucking pointless. Picture in your mind, just picture the worst relationship on the face of the planet, okay? Just think about what that would look like in your head. Not a dysfunctional relationship, but the worst possible human relationship. All right? Multiply that by 1,000,000. You done that? Okay. You're still not even close to understanding how shitty this relationship is. The ending of this movie is the most stupid thing. If there was an alien invasion, okay, and they were about to kill us, you could literally show this movie to the aliens and we would be okay. Because they would commit suicide after watching this shit. At the end of the movie, they break up. Thank God. And, she walks out crying. She's like, like, you're never gonna touch me again. She was upset because she got hit. And so she's like, enough is enough. And you would think that I would be proud of that. That I would be like, oh, finally, she sees the light. No. You wanna know why? Because she was the one who told him, hey, I want you to abuse me. Oh, no, this was too much. Are you stupid? What the? That's like saying, I feel like I want to stick my hand into some lava. Just straight into the mouth of a volcano, okay? And then I can complain about not having an arm. 50 Shades of Grey is the story about two very sick people, and if I were in her place, if I were a girl, I would have called the cops on this guy immediately. Okay, but it's about two very sick people that need some serious mental health help. That's it for this video. The main reason why I can't sit through this movie is because it's just flat out boring too. Like, in addition to all the stuff I just mentioned, it's just flat out boring. I feel like the only people that would actually enjoy this movie are the ones that walked out of the theater like this.
Oh wow, this was such a good movie, huh? My hand's a little tired, though.
This movie, in a nutshell, is everything that's wrong with our society. And you know how people say, oh, like, still a better love story than Twilight? They're gonna have to change that. I mean, Twilight is like the Nobel Prize of literature compared to this.